All right, welcome back everybody. My name's Austin. Today I want to put a new token on your radar. It's called Radix. It's a protocol, like Ethereum, like Polkadot. They're protocols, dApp platforms. But Radix, because of its technology, because of its development incentives, they're aiming to be the only real solution to DeFi's issues. And that's a big statement. But because of their new technology, they're aiming to be a more scalable, more developer-friendly dApp platform compared to the Ethereum 2.0s, the Polkadots, Avalanches, Nears, Cosmos protocols. So let me take the next 10 minutes and share with you what makes them different, why they may just be a sleeping giant for DeFi next year. Radix did sponsor today's video. All opinions are my own. I want to give you the positive and negatives and just educate you. This video is about education on what Radix, this protocol, this token is. Hit the like button and let's jump in. So the first interesting thing is how they achieve scalability without sacrificing composability. Because while Radix does have a token, and it is a dApp platform you can build on top of it, it is not a blockchain. But what Radix offers is something called linear scalability, meaning having a protocol that has no upper boundary in terms of the information you can put through it. That means the more nodes added to the network, the more throughput the network gains. And they can do it while maintaining composability. What is atomic composability? Well, it's the ability to stitch together multiple functions from multiple dApps within a single atomic transaction, which is critical for DeFi. And the big dogs, like Ethereum, Polkadot, Cosmos, etc., they scale using some type of sharding, whether it's using a hub and sidechain architecture, like Cosmos or Polkadot, or by running a static set of blockchains in parallel, like Ethereum 2.0. They break composability. Here's an example. A great example would be simultaneously lending from one dApp while borrowing from another. So the communication of two different dApps doing two different things. While this process is easy without sharding and it's already utilized, if you have to scale, most sharding approaches break this functionality by separating applications onto shards that cannot act in concert in a single step. This is one of the game changers. Radix is the only protocol that uses sharding to deliver linear scalability without breaking composability. This means that Radix can meet the throughput needs of any number of dApps as the network grows, and all of those dApps can continue to interoperate without limitation. Radix accomplished this by developing their own new consensus algorithm called Cerberus. Cerberus uses practically infinite set of shards, all while the assets and the dApps are represented dynamically across these shards. And Cerberus also removes the barrier between its shards with a completely new consensus design. It was designed from the ground up, which for me is always pretty interesting. I did find this. The consensus, Cerberus, was academically proven from the University of California, Davis this year, which to me is a green flag. As you know, I'm not a programmer, I'm not a developer. So whenever we can get this sort of third-party academic validation, this is something I look for. It's titled Cerberus, Minimalistic Multi-Shard Byzantine-Resistant Transaction Processing. Quite a mouthful. I'm going to link this down below if you want to check it out. I guess point is, every project admits scalability matters, but in Radix's eyes, composability is king. Pretty interesting stuff, right? Comment below. If you have opinions on this, if you have some input to add, give me a comment down below in the comment section. This video isn't just going to name the good things about Radix. I want to give you my concerns. I want to give the full spectrum of what Radix offers and my personal thoughts on this. Just FYI, make sure you watch the entire video. But the next thing I want to talk about is development, because scalability and technology really, to me, means nothing if developers don't choose your platform. And what's interesting is that Radix, on their protocol, is offering developers incentives to Buidl, on-ledger recurring developer revenue. Check this out. This is innovative. Right now, the world runs on open source code. At least it's trending that way, which is positive, meaning anybody can use your code. It's just the issue is that developers, a lot of them, want to make money. There's often been a conflict between contributing to open source and then benefiting from the use of that open source code. Well, one of the differentiators with Radix is that they baked payment right into the fabric of the protocol. They have something called the developer royalty system, which is cool, which is potentially creating a network that could be self-incentivizing. Let me give you an example, because Bitcoin's mining, for example, is self-incentivizing. Miners get paid to secure the network with mining. Cryptocurrency mining created a permissionless marketplace for providing computer power to a network without centralized coordination. A feedback loop like these are incredibly powerful for growth. That was for Bitcoin mining. Radix is aiming to do that from a developer point of view. With the Radix developer royalty system, we're aiming to create a decentralized, self-incentivized system for DeFi code development as a core part of the Radix network. Very interesting. So how would this work? Well, if a developer writes a piece of code that they want other people to use and build off of, but they also want to make some money, royalty payments are then set by the developers, paid automatically on Ledger if it's used, and this system is designed to have a similar network effect like mining. Super innovative. We're just sort of going over the broad strokes today, but these are the key differentiators. The second big sort of incentivizer for developers is called Radix Components and the Component Catalog. Now, like I said, Radix isn't a blockchain, so they don't have smart contracts. But components are Radix replacement of smart contracts, and they make the Radix royalty system possible. So basically the same thing, just a different name. Like typical smart contracts, components allow a developer to build powerful logic that is deployed and run trustlessly on the network. So makes sense. And where they take this a step further is something called the Component Catalog, which is sort of like a template system or like a library, which should make development easier. Because instead of every developer always having to start with a blank slate, there's now a catalog of options and functions a developer can pull from and work with. Now, my understanding is that developers usually just have to create their own libraries, which is super time consuming and also could lead to more potential flaws in the code. Now developers can build off each other with the components catalog. That's the aim, at least. Components in the catalog can be utilized many times, each time configured to that different user's specific needs. And going further, within the catalog, existing template components can be imported so that new code can be layered on top of existing, proven functionality without having to copy or re-implement it. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but this isn't sort of a hype coin, right? It's not a yam or a food-based flash in the pan, so to speak. What initially drew me to covering this project is that it was fundamentally based on the new technology, which is interesting from a developer incentivization point, and also, sort of like I mentioned, has third-party validation for their new consensus mechanism. Okay, let's bring it home. If you're wondering about the coin's ticker, it is XRD, or in this case, eXRD. They are launching as an ERC20 token first. Their mainnet, I believe, is until Q2 of next year, 2021. Their public sale is starting tomorrow if you want to take advantage. This video is just about education. I'm not a financial advisor. But if you've consulted one and you want to make your own decisions, I'm going to link this down below. Check it out. There will be a maximum of 642 million Radix tokens made available. If you want to learn more about the token, all in the link down below. I've described the value proposition in today's video, all the things I like. Just know investing any amount of money into cryptocurrency is risky. You take on that risk. But if you take one thing away from this video today, in my opinion, for me, this is definitely a project/coin that I'm going to keep on my radar, keep tabs on, just see, because this project/coin, it's a whole lot newer than the Polkadots, the Cosmoses, but they're going head to head with these dApp platforms, and they got a shot. Their technology, how they incentivize, very different. Let's keep tabs and see how the development community flocks to Radix. It's going to be interesting. Like always, comment below your thoughts. The last thing I'll say is something I did like. These are the announced partners and components of the Radix ecosystem. They are working with Ren Protocol, which offers wrapping as a service to easily integrate into the Ethereum ecosystem, because right now ETH is king. The Ethereum ecosystem is king, And with Ren, they can integrate, have a two-way street in and out to interact with that ecosystem, which is a good move, at least for the short term, in this next cycle. They list more. I'm going to leave you to check out the case studies and the ecosystem on your own. Check out the links below. I'll see you tomorrow.